just crazy.
On what do you call it? On Monday.
What's that?
How was your meeting on Monday?
I had all sorts of stuff going on Monday. I'm trying to think what even we had Monday. We had such
Monday
crazy
night.
day.
I know you did. Yeah. So Monday night you had that real estate meeting.
Yes, we had a call with Paul. He was just kind of touching base with us. Huxley, go in with your sister. Hurry. We had told him that the funding was kind of being held up. And so I just didn't want to like occupy that spot in his program any longer because he had given us a timeline on when money needed to be in. And so he's been like very patient and great to work with us on the funding being tied up. Yeah. So we were just touching base with him and going over some other options potentially.
So what's coming up for you? It's like anxiety.
So bad. So freaking bad.
Okay. So there's anxiety and okay. I have permission to intuitively know for you, right? I just have to.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Of course. That's what I do. All right. So there's anxiety, there's panic, stress, overwhelm, fear. Okay. When in your life have you ever manifested anything powerfully from a place of fear? Never.
Never.
Never. Do you know what you manifest when you manifest from a place of fear? All the things you don't want. Yeah. Disaster. So what vibration or thought patterning and feelings do you get to the end powerfully? When you manifested, let's say this house.
Sorry, I had to leave the room where my child was being noisy because he is throwing off my concentration.
Yeah, okay. It's okay.
Anywho.
So when you manifest powerfully, like let's say the house that you're living in right now, what emotion did you have to have? What emotion did you experience when you were in the process of like, you just heard that they accepted your offer on the home?
Excitement.
Thank you. And?
Happiness, joy, like all the positive, good vibes.
Relief.
Yes.
Gratitude, right?
Oh, yep.
And because I'm sure there were hurdles, right? There's always some sort of like step and hurdle to get through when we're going through stuff. But what propels you forward to actually achieving the outcome is the excitement, the joy, the relief, the gratitude, right? This fear is only going to keep creating disaster for you, which you don't want.
Right.
The reason you're self-sabotaging, because we talked about the saboteur, right?
Yes, we did.
Your pattern has been that you manifest, like you're really good at the beginning, fueling up the idea part, right? And then when it's time to actually like follow through, that's when you pull the rug out from underneath yourself.
Right.
So you cannot do that.
Right.
You just can't. The reason being is because you do want a different life. I mean, you can. You can do it, but it will give you what results? The same results that you've been getting.
You don't want that.
We're changing the story. You're going through, and just like thinking about the caterpillars turning into a butterfly, it's not this like just painless experience. They literally mush into like goo, right? They have to lose what their old identity to be transformed into this beautiful butterfly. So you're losing the identity of the scarcity, of the anxiety, of losing the identity of someone who starts something but doesn't finish it. Are you ready for that identity to end?
Yes.
I believe you are. Yeah. Okay. So in regards to, let's say, the money, what is the biggest block right now? Like, what are they telling you?
So we started out working with one girl.
Yep.
And I've reached out to her like, hey, where are we at in the process? And she's just kept telling me like, oh, let me get with my back office. Let me get with my back office. I'll get back to you. And then I don't hear from her again. So I've literally bugged her like every single day. Every single day. Well, then the other day I text her again and she tells me, hey, a new law passed in California. I don't have the correct licensing for finishing your loan, so I can't help you. And I'm like, okay. Then why are you even working with a loan company if you're not licensed, right? Like, doesn't make sense. And so she gives me another contact number for this other girl to finish out our process.
Yep.
And this other girl won't reply to me or Theron. We've both tried. I've like texted her, I've emailed, I've called, he's texted, we've left voicemail. Well, she finally replied to my email last night and she's like, please refer back to who you were working with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. My anger bubbled in me and I sent a reply that, I was like, no, this does not work for me. We have been going in circles. Like, this girl is telling me she can't finish our process. Like, I need an explanation now. Like, I want it right now. Well, she won't reply back. So I text the girl that we were initially working with and I told her everything that had happened. And she gave us a different contact that I'd spoken to him prior, like in the beginning of the process. His is Mario. And so Theron got a hold of him and he was very helpful. So we should be hearing back from him today on what is happening. He said it just has to be some sort of miscommunication in like the paperwork or whatever, just some little stupid glitch.
What's the loan company?
Iconic Funding. And he said they've been in business for 12 years. So he's like, I don't know why you've been held up. Like, I understand you're frustrated. So he told Theron, I will get to the bottom of this and I'll be, in touch with you in an hour.
Is it Iconic Funds?
It's Iconic Funds, Funding, something like that.
Iconic Holding? There's Iconic Holding. I'm just looking real quick to...
I know they're in California. I'm not...
Because are you getting the vibration at all of scam?
Did for a split second, and I included that in my email. I was like, we have like done everything you've asked in good faith, that you're an honest company, and with each
have you paid them money?
No.
Okay, so you've not paid them anything. It's not like they're going to gain anything from you other than what are they gaining from you if they give you the loan?
Nothing at this point.
They just get payments.
Right. And it's not even to them, like they're an in-between company that just finds the funding. So, I mean, really, they're not going to gain anything. Like, I think they get a cut off of the deal just for, like a finder's fee.
Yeah. I get it. Okay. Because I'm picking up red flags for scam.
Right.
That's what came through immediately. So we're going to put that in the dark codes that we're releasing. Scam, dishonesty. There's something else. It's like they're lacking consistency.
Definitely.
And you're feeling out of control because you've agreed to like X, Y, and Z in situations, obviously with me and with them, with people where it's like, oh shit, like what do we do now, right? And it's just a matter of getting resourceful in a different way. That's all.
Right.
So if you go with like, shit, this isn't going to work out, and feed into that panic, that anxiety, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, yada, 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 you're going to be setting yourself up for a disaster. But if you're like remembering the excitement of why you even signed up for each of these things and the joy and the gratitude and the metamorphosis that you're about to go through, staying focused on that. Sorry, I'll put focus as well. So distraction is the dark code. And Oh, lack of communication. That's another frustration. Yeah, because you're just frustrated. So anger is a very normal response for a manifester. Manifestors get angry, you guys, because your job is to inform. And anger is an outward expression, frustration is inward expression. And so, yeah, it makes sense that you would be getting angry. um, what other dark codes do you feel we need to release around this blocked money?
um,
It's like pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
definitely pressure of it.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
Yeah. On both of you. And the funny thing is you both don't have that defined sacral center. And I don't remember what your roots look like, but if either of you have an open root center, this pressure is going to feel even more extreme because you're going to absorb it and then amplify that shit. You're making it even bigger. So yeah, that pressure. I think that feels like there might be something else. Hold on. Let's put in anger. So that way you can transmute that anger rather than become the anger.
Right.
There's just so much fear, scarcity. There it is. Not having enough, not being enough, not being good enough. There we go. Okay. So let's deactivate these dark codes. I'm going to call upon your ascended master self from the future, my higher self and ascended master self from the future, our divine support team, God, angels, universe, Heavenly Mother, who else? My light code workers, Astria and Irok. And I'm going to have them deactivate dark codes of pressure, anger, scarcity, not being good enough, anxiety, panic, stress, overwhelm, fear, out of control, scam, dishonesty, lack of consistency, out of control. So I wrote that twice. So that's the biggest thing showing up right now. It's like, oh, it's like this tornado feeling that you're in. Just know you're going through the goo. You're just going through the goo phase of turning from caterpillar to butterfly. It's going to be okay. Distraction and lack of communication. Yeah. Okay. So let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in and release. And in again. And release. Okay. So, excuse me. I'm going to begin. Ayan toko fatakai roka fatay romatay o anako kwekete. Hermay koshnakatishne o ishnakakwi. Hinamokai hitatai o roka madakari ishnakafat. Breathe in and release. And we are going to activate light codes of excitement, joy, relief, gratitude, celebration, surrender, trender, peace, trust, right, is part of trust, trender. What else is there? Allowance, like allowing this to flow, right? Allowance, divine timing in all things. Right. And resourcefulness, getting resourceful outside of, because what happens sometimes is we focus so heavily on, oh, my resource is going to come from right here. And it's like there's how much of a planet and how many possibilities and how many different avenues for you to receive what it is you desire. So it's just a matter of, so we're going to resourceful, creative, getting creative, and like a stillness, like, because your energy is like this right now, right? And so it's just like getting really centered and still. Okay. So stillness, breathing, and trusting that it's an inevitable outcome. It's an inevitable that you're going to be able to do these programs. Like it just is. It's all going to work out. Everything's working out in your favor. It's this or something better. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, if it's not through, I'll give you an example. When we moved to New Zealand, everyone was like, there's no way you guys are going to find a home. There's just no way. You have 5 children. You don't have a job. You're foreigners on top of it. Even though I'm a Kiwi and I am from there, I have an American accent. So they just
Right.
assume I'm a foreigner. And so I was like, no, it's this or something better. So we applied house after house and we kept getting denied. And I was like, okay, this or something better. Like instead of feeding into the fear of like, oh my gosh, we're never going to find a home. Like we're so screwed
Right.
and feeding any energy into that, I was like, nope, this or something better. And then I teamed up with my family who lives down there and it turned into like it's a who you know versus a like what you bring to the table. And so they rented to us. We had income coming in. It wasn't through a job. The lady was like, well, I know where you live, Lily. So yeah, all right, let's do it. That never happens. Never in anybody's experience have they had a renter go or rent a property management company go, all right, it's yours. Like because it was an inevitable. We were not going to end up homeless. We needed a
Right.
place to live and all the things lined up. So same thing for you, just this or something better. Hold the line. You're just going to hold the line of vibration. When I say the line, think of a vibration. You're creating this type of vibration, holding the line goes, I just know that I know. Like it's going to happen. Yeah, can you feel that
I
difference?
definitely can feel that difference.
Yeah, and like when again, I had the same thing happen when we were moving from our from New Zealand back to America. It was like, how are we going to manifest another home?
Right.
Fully furnished, hopefully. Who's going to rent to me? Like all the fear. It's not that I manifest without difficulty. It's that I manifest in spite of it. That I do
Right.
it anyway. And I work very closely with my divine support team. I don't do any of it alone. So my spirit guides were like, and Heavenly Father was like, go and go look online and you're going to find a vacation home fully furnished. And I was like, okay. So I did. And I found one. And then I was told, he said, call her, do not email her. She has to hear your voice, hear your realness, your sincerity. So I was like, all right, I'm calling internationally to this American lady. And while talking to her, she was talking like pro yada yada what's going on in the world, and I'm very much so not on the same page as that. Spirit was like, do not engage. Right, do not engage any sort of opposing opinion, right? And
Right.
it's just because I've got my spirit headphones activated so really loud at times, especially when I'm manifesting. I crank the volume. So you need to crank the volume on your spirit headphones that are now on your head, and you can take them off anytime or keep them on and just dial it down if it's too much, or dial up if you need more guidance to drown out all of the panic, anger, stress, fear, all of that. That's what I do. I just crank that up. And I'm like, all right, God, tell me what to do next then.
Right.
So today, another example, I live and breathe this. So today I woke up sick to my stomach because there's a lot of there was police brutality on the people of New Zealand last night. It was terrible. There's possibility of 3 people having been killed. Like it was really bad. So I woke up like sick. I ended up almost fainting. Like it was bad. So I'm stuck in the turmoil, right? And
Right.
what do I know to do? Crank up the spiritual headphones. So I cranked it up and I was like, all right, God, I know what's happening. Now what? What do I actually do to contribute? And he was like, well, you've got all these spiritual gifts. You know how to help people transmute trauma. Get to it. Offer some free sessions to the people that are suffering right now. And I was like, I can do that. It's something that I have the ability to do. So same thing for you. It's like crank up those headphones so you know what your inspired action steps get to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another example, in October, I was genuinely afraid we were going to end up homeless. Because again, I'm like, we don't have an official job. It's all through self-employment, all of it. And I'm like, who's going to rent to me? Like, how's this going to happen? I have to show 3 months. I haven't had the greatest 3 months, like all this story, right?
Uh-huh.
I cranked up the headphones, went to God. He was like, apply here. I got a notification that day that we could come check out the home. And I was like, well, when do I leave? He said, leave now. I get here to this place, and the property manager happened to be here.
Oh.
And yeah, it was that divine timing thing again, because I listened and I asked, and he was like, and the guy, long story short, he's from New York. I lived in New York for 7 years. So we had this like weird instant connection. And then he, on the way out, I was like, how quickly can I like get into this place? He's like, as quick as you move. And I was like, oh, well, challenge accepted. I'll be in tonight. So I like got in all my stuff. The next day he messages me and says, hey, you missed X, Y, and Z. Are you guys still interested? Because I really want your family to have it. You see, he'd already decided the home was ours.
Right.
So this is the thing for you. You just get to hold the vision of like the money is already deposited in your account, and now you get to pay off whatever you've committed to, and just celebrating that, holding that vibration, holding the line. And anytime the other things come through, crank the volume, ask, go straight to your source, go to God.
Okay.
Or go to your divine, and listen, just listening, and then do it. Don't argue. Never argue. That's like my biggest thing. I'm like, I'm gonna argue. I used to argue with God, is what I call it, and I don't do that anymore. I get way better results when I actually just listen.
Right.
It's such a different experience. So raise your vibration, keep it high, keep that volume up, and take inspired action step. All right, so let's activate all of that with the next light codes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and release through your mouth. Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to just activate this with Astria and Irok. And Mephistok is my dragon as well. I felt the need to come in for that and do some dragon light language. Oishnakakwe. All right, sweet. Beautiful. You've been activated on a cellular level. You have full permission to move forward, manifesting the life of your dreams. No more feeding into the fear. You got this, okay? Well, yay. How are you feeling now?
Good. I feel a lot.
Relief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anxiety is like chilled, dispersed. I feel like calm and like I can conquer.
Yeah. I love it. Calm, conquering. Yes, with clarity for relief. Like you're just, yeah, do it. You got this. So I'm going to go in and I'll send you the recording of this, but I'm going to cut off the beginning portion of the recording and share it to Facebook. Are you good with that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Just that way, I'll see if I can edit out the beginning. Or are you okay with the whole thing?
My kid in the beginning.
You what?
My wild child in the beginning.
You were great. No, you were fine. Or are you okay having it on there? It's up to you. I just want you to feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, cool. Just share it. Cool. So I'll share that for the group, and then I guess I'll be talking to Theron tomorrow.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes, I will. So yeah, I'm going to stop recording. So do you feel like, hold on, before we jump off, do you feel like your intention was accomplished today?
Yeah, definitely.
Relieving that anxiety, having some clarity, and so on. So, all right, I'm going to stop recording. Bye, guys.